What's going on, everybody? Gentleman94 here. Welcome back to the P-36, and this is build day number 8. As you can see here, we have this thing overcoated all in aluminum by Vallejo, and we have the anti-glare strip up front. Today we're going to hit the wing walks, and we're going to hit some of the detailed areas, such as the ailerons, the elevators, and I wanted to go ahead and try highlighting a couple of panels here or there on the wing, maybe around the fuselage. I don't know. We'll see what it kind of just comes to mind. So first things, let's start with the wing walks, and I'm going to use my reference material here, and we're going to find a good picture of what these wing walks look like. For some odd reason, the kit did not come supplied with decals for the wing walks, so we're going to have to come up with our own and paint them. And that's fine. It shouldn't be too bad. It should be fairly simple to do. So let's use our references and figure out where the wing walk starts. And it should start right about here on the wing, and it should go all the way to the back, and it should parallel the joint between fuselage and wing. It should be pretty easy, right about there, all the way to the back of the wing, and then run it on the same side on the fuselage. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to take this Tamiya tape, and I'm going to use this as our basic outer outline for the wing walk. I'm going to run it past where we're actually going to begin the walk, and I'm going to stick this down. Let's go ahead and try to get it stuck down where it needs to be first time around, but we're going to have to make a fine adjustment, so that's just the way it is. And a little bit of an X-Acto knife. There we go, slice that. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start at the front and work our way to the back. And we're going to pull up the tape a little bit, make minor adjustments, stick it down, and keep moving along. So take it up a little bit here, leaving a bit stuck, and we're just going to go bit by bit. Stick down what we need and pull and shift the tape itself till we are about the correct angle. And that looks decent. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the inside of the mask. And I'm going to be taking this Tamiya tape, and I'm going to make very thin slices of it, probably about 5 millimeters in thickness. And that's going to allow me to somewhat bend the tape a little bit harsher than you can, say, like a full 6-inch or 4-inch or 10-inch piece of Tamiya tape. And this is going to allow us to run a small bit of tape on the inside to act as our primary block for the mask, and then we can run some tape on the outside of that to help with overspray, and we don't have to be as exact with the overspray protection. Now we're going to, just like I said, just do about, I don't know, maybe let's say 4. Let's do 4 strips of this tape, about 5 millimeters thick, maybe a little less. Now we can just take up one of these strips here, doesn't matter which one. Let's grab our pin vise here, and there we are. Come on, there we go. Okay, so now we have this very thin piece of Tamiya tape, which I can use, like I said, as the inside mask. So let's do it. All right, so I've got it stuck down here, and I'm using my pin vise. I'm just kind of shifting it around as I see fit to make sure that it really holds that line. And again, I'm trying to parallel the line that I already created with my outside mask. This will help to kind of keep it nice and uniform. I want to keep it equal in distance. I want to keep it equal in length to match the next one I'm going to do. So you got to really be careful. I don't want it to look weird or crooked or out of place. So that actually is pretty decent. We're going to have to go ahead and block the front of it off so that we have a nice good demarcation line between silver and the wing walk. But you know what? Before we do that, let's burnish down the inside edges. We don't have to burnish much. We just get the inside edges and really make sure those are stuck down, because we do not want a gap that's going to let a bunch of thin black paint right through our mask. If you're using natural metal, though, be careful. You don't want to scuff the surface, because it's a real pain to go ahead and repair it. So I'm going to continue just working on this side, and then we're going to get the other side done, and we're going to get ready for paint. Like I said, though, we're going to take it slow. We're going to try to match it up as best we can. Burnish those edges, guys. Burnish them down. Okay, so we have both sides done. I'm just going to burnish this here so make sure that we don't have any leakage for paint. And this is looking good. I think these fit. These match both sides. I think we're going to have a successful airbrushing session with this. We have to put one more block here at the very top just to make sure we don't overspray everything. And we have a nice clean line between silver and wing walk. This is turning out better than I anticipated. Natural metal is always very finicky, very difficult to work with, and I really don't do it very well, but I'm learning. It's difficult, but I'm learning. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mask the wings for overspray. Now, one could just take a whole bunch of tape and just slather it all over the wings, and that's fine. But since this is a natural metal finish, I do not want it to be, pulled up or dulled by the tackiness of the tape. So instead, we're going to use these long sheets of paper that I've cut here off to the side. We're just trying to make sure that the black I'm going to spray doesn't overspray over the entire model or hit anywhere we don't want it. Okay, so this is all masked up. We've got the inside done. We've got the outside done. Okay, so I'm just going to be running this paint here through my airbrush at about 15 psi. It's just a basic flat black. It's nothing fancy. I use a little isopropyl to go ahead and thin it down, and it seems to be working just fine. So we're going to take it nice and slow, just airbrushing the different sections. I want to make sure that we have a nice even coverage. I don't want any blotches. I don't want any streaks. I don't want any darker or lighter places. I want the whole thing to be uniform. Got to hit the other side, of course, but I want to make sure this side is perfect. And we're going to do that a little bit off camera here, and we'll be back, show you what I got. Okay, so we are back, and let's go ahead and pull these masks off. Let's see what we came up with. This is kind of the moment of truth, everybody, This is where you know you really did a good job or you really messed up. So let's hope it's a good job and not a mess up. All right, we can take our wing walk masks on the inside off. That actually is already looking pretty decent. Let's pull off the next section. And one more section right here. Come on. There we are. Oh, nice. Look at that. Actually decent looking. I like that. It looks good. So let's pull the other section off as well. And then we'll be able to see how it looks, see if I made them symmetrical. Okay, so we have this Vallejo chrome here. What I want to do is I want to pick out certain sections on the model, and I want to spray the chrome over those sections, mostly panels, things like that, because natural metal finish is a pretty monotone color. It's just all one color, shiny metal. So in this case, I wanted to go ahead and mix that up a little bit by breaking up the monotony by throwing some of this chrome onto different panels. Now, Post-its work really well for any sort of just straight line masking. It's not as tacky as tape, so be very careful because it won't create a very perfect, demarcation line between your paint and the base color, but it does give you a real quick, light, fast, easy way of throwing down a mask and hitting it with paint. Okay, so I mentioned Post-its. This is kind of what you do with a Post-it. They're really great for basically quick masking and very straight lines. That should be good enough. I've got to do that on the other side of the wing, and then we're ready for paint. Okay, let's get to painting, guys. Let's go ahead and get this chrome painted down. I don't know if this is going to be very noticeable on camera. I'm hoping it will be, but what I'm doing here is I'm just accenting certain little panels. This way, it breaks up the monotony of the overall modeling plane finish. This is going to give it a little bit of interest. Now, the problem is, though, that this color is very similar to aluminum. So we're not really going to get any glaring, in-your-face, different colored panels. We're going to get some subtleties. Let's go ahead and get the top section, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we are done. It is drying. Let's go ahead and pull off these masks, and we're going to see just what we came up with. And I'm really hoping you guys can see this on camera. It's very subtle here in person, very subtle. I don't know if it's going to really show up here on the camera, but again, I like it. I think it's a nice little break from the monotony of just all natural metal. And here we go. I'm hoping you can kind of see the differences between the metal. I don't know if you really can, but you can kind of get a little bit of a different sheen coming off of that than you can off the base color. So I'm going to call that a success. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, so I have finished off with the chrome. I had a little chrome left over, and I know that the ailerons, the elevators, and even the rudder were made of fabric, but they were overpainted in a silver dope color. And what it is basically is the leftover chrome I had from when I was spraying my accent panels, and it's mixed with a Tamiya medium gray paint. And that gives the medium gray some sheen to it, and it tones down the silver to a bit of a gray color. See that? It still has a sheen to it, but it is definitely different looking than the metal, and that's what I was going for. Okay, so here we are. Everything has been painted that I wish to paint. So we've got the wing walks in, we've got the detail panels in, we also have the silver dope color. And here's a close-up here. You can hopefully see that, yeah, we've got a different color here on the wing as we do, on the fuselage. And there's a little bit of a sheen to it, which is what I want. And there's a difference in color between the fabric-covered ailerons and the actual metal-covered wings. We're going to call it here, though, guys, because I'm tired, and hopefully this will be good enough for right now. We're going to come back next time, and we're going to work on the last finishing touches. Install the canopy, get that squared away. Hope to see you guys back on build day number 9 here for the P-36. Until then, guys, keep modeling and have fun.